Good evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and welcome to the New York Arena in Midtown Manhattan for tonight's main event.
So, I like boxing. It's a good sport. You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who doesn't enjoy the fine art of Dornaliacht, otherwise known as two people knocking the head off each other for a good half hour, just to be best mates once they're done. I find it rather poetic, honestly. And with boxing being one of Ireland's most popular sports, it's not too hard to imagine people getting into the sport in ways that'd be considered, irregular or abnormal, to say the least. I'll tell you no word of a lie here. In my school, we were so fucking bored of our regular classes that during PE, one lad, alright, decided he'd had enough. We'll call him K for this story. K and a few of his mates were bored with our PE classes. I mean, in honesty, half the entire fucking year was, at least. I think a good way of summarising our PE classes is, if you don't like soccer, you're shit out of luck. Now, I am exaggerating there are a couple of more sports we do during PE, but in general, it's pretty limited, especially for something we only do once a week. I think one of the main reasons why a lot of people actually like PE is because, you get a bit of freedom to move around rather than being stuck to a chair like you are every other day. Either way, Kay and a couple of his mates thought up a plan. Kay came up with the original plan while his mates Oliver and Poliver kept notes. Oliver was the primary manager of what would go on to be called the K.B.A, K's Boxing Association. Oliver was the primary manager of what would go on to be called the K.B.A, K's Boxing Association, though I would have preferred calling it K's Fight Club. The K.B.A was a huge success. People were gathering in the changing rooms every single week before PE to watch and participate in the fights. And I shit you not, to bet on the fights too. Yeah, there was a fucking betting ring in my school changing rooms. On a side note here, I bet my school sure hopes I'm not putting this video up on some public video sharing platform. Oliver was in charge of the bets. People were more excited for PE than ever. In the K.B.A, you'd wear boxing gloves and you'd have about 5 minutes to knock the shite out of your opponent. Other than that, the rules were the exact same as boxing. No hits below the belt line and no elbows. No fouls, basically. Funny enough though, no teeth were lost, considering we didn't wear mouth guards. It was madness, alright? Plain and simple madness. Controlled madness, but madness nonetheless. Sadly though, as with all good things in this world, humans ruined it. With words of the K.B.A spreading like a bloody forest fire in my school, it wasn't long until somebody done something stupid. Well, then again, that's taken into account that, starting a fucking fight club in the school was a smart idea. Kay's friend Oliver was in class one day, reading through the fight listings in his copy. It was then when a teacher asked him, to put his copy away, alright? Put yourself in Oliver's shoes. You're in class, alright? You're in front of your teacher and you have a copybook containing extremely incriminating information about an underground fight club being held on school premises. A teacher is asking you to kindly refrain from having your copy out in class, alright? That's it. You have two choices here. You could ignore these instructions and just keep reading through this, I repeat, extremely incriminating information that, if exposed, would not only get you, but you and other people in deep shit. Or you could just, put it away. And so, you know what he did? He put it right into the middle of his chest, wrapping his arms around it as if it was his precious. She walked over, and with her suspicion obviously raising, she asked to see the copy. This was his last chance, alright? He could have said it's private, could have said it's his friends, he could have said it's his bleeding diary for all I care, but no. He clutched onto it for dear life. This quite obviously led to more suspicion, and eventually he just gave it up. The teacher read through it, and I can just imagine the levels of, "Excuse me, what the fuck?" she'd be feeling. She brought it to the principal, and they took names from the copy. And over the next hour, it was like cardboard gangsters in our school. One by one, the main members of the K.B.A were rounded up, as the fighters listed in the book were interrogated. However, instead of the leaders being shot in the head, they were just severely punished. And the K.B.A. came to a rather abrupt end. So, in retrospective, and with the obligatory, I do not encourage, nor do I condone the activities described in this video out of the way, I think the K.B.A. was a decent idea that was executed well. Horribly would be an understatement. It was a disaster waiting to happen, even if Ollie hadn't been caught with the copy. The types of people in my school aren't exactly known for keeping their mouths shut, you know? Pro tip, don't start an underground fight club in your school. But if you are gonna, please let me in on a slice of the pie. I've been craving some teeth to bash in recently. But in all honesty, these sorts of things are just doomed from the beginning. K and his mates got off lucky as far as the real world is concerned. Albeit it was just for a laugh at the end of the day, outside of school this shit would not go down well, especially on a larger scale. As enticing as an opportunity may seem in the beginning, a lot of that shit ain't gonna last. Be it something small like starting a fight club or something bigger. It mightn't be a fight club, but it might be similar in principle of how it works, you know? Shady work that'll bite you back. It could be some type of pyramid scheme or worst case scenario, and may God have mercy on your soul if you do see yourself here working for a gang. That shit can and will do its best to fuck you up to the day of your death. But as far as I'm concerned, I take no issue with you if you're just like myself, chilling out on the sidelines and, well, just enjoying the sight of our lovely world burning. Have a good one. Now put yourself in Oliver's shoes. Now put yourself in Oliver's shoes.